Lilly and the rusty raconteur are finally ready to visit Briley at the Miaslaznia Fairblade tomb on the peninsula, and while in the district, at least conduct a rudimentary investigation into the missing water-daving creature. By the gate are some refugees.
I greet you.
Alright, here's Maureen, presumably one of the residents of the Peninsula District. Pardon my improper greeting, madam, but I really can't muster the interest today. The plague picks us off one by one, and I can't even hide in my home. The peninsula's old but overrun by escaped criminals. We've lost everything to them. Why doesn't anybody do something about it? Alright, well, I guess Lilly may be hoping to hear some first-hand accounts of what's actually happening in the district. I can't talk to anyone. I don't want to. I just want to be able to go home. Why am I telling you this? You can't take on the whole Peninsula District. Nor does the Inquisitor General want to take on the whole Peninsula District. Prison uprisings are not the charge of her office.
Well met.
Of course, this is the guard for the gate. Hail, good madam. The wailing death has taken a heavy toll beyond these gates. The peninsula is a dangerous place and we're restricting access on Lady Arabe's orders. He's assuming that she has proper quarantine clearance, which she does. Aye, there was word she'd be hiring on adventurers to help fill the ranks. Asking what he can do for Lilly. Well, probably answer questions, such as how bad it really is. It's pretty bad. I certainly wouldn't go in unequipped. Gate Captain Kipp can brief you once you're on the other side. Alright. Asking if there's anything she should look out for. There's not much there, to be honest. With the prison at the top of the rise and all, most reputable folk and businesses steer clear. You should probably talk to Gate Captain Kipp on the other side. He could fill you in. Alright, apparently not going to find out much from the guard. Alright. Be careful. There's plenty of danger afoot. Danger afoot calls for 3/4 dozen more. Gate Captain Kipp better know more than this lackey he posted at the gate. The Peninsula, a virtual island to house the Neverwinter prison, and as Bethany reported, full of escaped prisoners. One of those was Tommy Undergoes, who said it was the warden himself who released them.
Well met.
Alright, here's Gate Captain Kipp, who I guess should know something. If you're going onto the peninsula, keep your head up. There's been a prison break and the place is crawling with trouble. Yeah, asking how all this happened. Rumor is that Captain Alaefin, the Head Gaoler, set them free. Makes no sense to me. He was a good man and ran a tight ship. Since the prison is at the top of the hill, it commands a great view of the harbor. Not that the prisoners ever got to see it. Alright. Ask if there's any safe areas. Sato Sibylla's the one in charge of the operation. And of course, we heard about her, Lord Nasher's trusted, from Bethany, I believe. The prisoners have her pretty much penned in, but she's managed to secure a headquarters to the southeast. And of course, that's good news because, well, Lilly's really here to visit the burial site in a house supposedly on the east side of the district, so hopefully that's safe as well. If you're looking to help, I'd recommend you go see her. She's better information on what's going on than I do. Yeah, I guess Lilly asking what it is they're actually doing. For now, everyone's just trying to figure out what's going on. Someone's going to have to go into that prison, though, and get to the bottom of it. Not Lilly if she can help it. If you want to thank me, go talk to Sato Sibylla at headquarters. Could definitely use your help cleaning up the Head Gaoler's mess. How convenient. Sado Sibyl, one of Lord Nasher's trusted, is on the east side of the district, as is the tomb. Next, she'll find out the headquarters is the tomb. She only hopes that the house itself won't be too hard to find, as the site obviously wasn't printed on the map that she studied back at the Moonstone Mask. Inquisitor General Black declares to her red-headed assistant that they shall start their investigation with familiar territory, the tedious and boring chore of inspecting shipping on the pier. Though, in truth, as at the docks proper, it's to satisfy Lilly's curiosity. A green wine, Mintarn wine. Little Red shudders upon hearing of the same island from where the brandy came from, causing her mistress to laugh. It certainly is a pirate wine. That is to say, horrible.
Fair enough.
Though certainly still better than the sleuth they celebrated the Lady Don't Care's grand opening with.
Done and done.
Curiously, one of the only places one can find Mintarn wine on the coast is Bargewright Inn. About 7 days' ride northeast of Waterdeep lies a natural hill overlooking Ironford on the river Dessarin.
Fair enough.
Feston Bargewright built his inn on the hill, and it grew into a small community.
Done and done.
It's not even a hamlet, though it's fortified against brigands, much like the Friendly Arm. Speaking of brigands, Lilly peers out into the misty harbor to see if it's the same Bloodsailor ship at the docks, but can't tell. Green wines are certainly less common. The only others she knows of is Shondeth Ice and Pearls of the Moon. But at 1 silver a bottle, Mintarn is the worst of them. And it's supposed to be served chilled. She'll not let it dangle by a cord in the cool harbor like some crude dockhand. She'll have to conjure something up. In lieu of chill touch, ray of frost perhaps. Though, hopefully it won't break the bottle. Alright, I think before these prisoners notice us, want to sleep?
Die!
Alright. Holy cow. Alright. These guys snuck up out of nowhere. Alright, another one asleep. Or at least a guard came up. If only she had a proper arcane laboratory, complete with an ice chest. It'd be perfect for chilling wines. Not even the many-stored Cloak facilities had one. Surprising, as some alchemical supplies are known to keep better in cold rather than at common temperature. It only requires ice shipped year-round, typically from Icewind Dale, stored in a cold shed. Little Red's eyes widen in fear as her mistress announces the discovery of a new almond intoxicant, Czar, and another hand keg of Black Grog Ale, the less-than-stellar tipple from the Pirate Isles. The peninsula is well-stocked indeed, even under the quarantine, though clearly not as well-maintained. Why the local militia hasn't finished burning all these bodies yet, bloated from the sun despite tarred canvas, is beyond the Inquisitor General. Corpse fires are also not the charge of her office. Alright, Rod of Frost. Oh, look at that guy, came out of nowhere. Alright, there's quite a few of them. Probably do another one to sleep. But sure enough, Czar comes from the same house of good spirits and Waterdeep that Sleuth comes from. In fact, Czar is Sleuth, just fortified with an almond liquor. In the distance is a woman beset by escaped prisoners. Alright, Rod of Frost. These prisoners, I guess, attacking this woman here in the corner.
I greet you.
Alright, it's Miss Dulcimae. Thanks for the help. I was trying to make my way safely home when those brutes found me. Yeah, what in the realm she's doing on the streets? I'm a maid for Lady Tanglebrook. I was on my way home from my morning shift when all of this erupted. Yeah, asking where the guard is. With the quarantine to deal with, they've got their hands full, I'm afraid. Us folk have to fend for ourselves. Lily's not sure what she means by us folk. Alright, asking if she knows anything about the prison. Captain Alaefin, he's the head gaoler there. Runs a tight ship, or at least he used to. Some say he's the one who set the prisoners free. Of course, I think we've been hearing that. Yes, Alaefin. He's a good man, I swear he is. Why, he'd meet every afternoon in the tunnels with Lady Tanglebrook for a friendly game of chess. They're cousins, you know. Of course, that's interesting. Well, maybe not that they're cousins, but meeting in the tunnels. Yeah, asking what she means. Lady Tanglebrook has always been leery about walking the streets in this district. Really doesn't blame her. Alaefin built the tunnels between the prison and her estate so they could continue their games there. Well, that's good to know. Alright. Now that the plague is everywhere, they hope that continuing to use the tunnels would prevent her from being exposed to it. Alright, asking where the Tanglebrook estate is. At the far reach of the peninsula. As I said, though, she's right scared of the wailing, and she locked the door behind me when I left. Maybe you could check in on her to make sure she's okay. Scared to know. I know she keeps a spare key hidden under her doormat for us. Surprised she would divulge that. And I thought she was on the way home. But maybe she doesn't live here in the district. Lily has the option to escort her to the gates, which I think she will. You would? I was thinking I'd never make it. I really must get to the Peninsula Gates and tell Captain Kipp about what I've seen. Lady Tanglebrook at least sounds like a woman of refinement, and worth a visit, even if only to enjoy her hospitality, and maybe pose a few harmless questions about her cousin, Head Gaoler Alaefin. Maybe even a game of chess. It could be fun, though Lily'd likely have to let her host win the first match so as not to offend anyone. Lily was so deep in thought, she didn't even notice the prisoners attacked the rear guard. Alright, looks like the spider found something here sneaking up on the rear. You know what? Negative energy? Oh boy. I think that guard saved Lily some pain. Alright. Oh, he's already dead. Okay. At least there's one member of the Neverwinter militia in this accursed city that shows a modicum of competence. Lady Tanglebrook's housemaid is lucky she didn't get a half-orc's hatchet in the head. There's the district gate. Thanks so much for your help, my friend. Certainly not friends, but a fellow woman at least, and one she wasn't about to leave to the inclinations and violence of convicted criminals running loose throughout the district. It's bad enough she has to suffer common living. Lily's almost tempted to see if that was her house, across from the many-starred Cloak Arcane Laboratory, but resists the temptation. It certainly would be no more interesting than Millie's in the prestigious Nobles Quarter of Blacklake. Likely just a depressing little abode that will only dampen her spirits. If there's one depressing little abode that Lily wouldn't mind visiting, it's Sharwyn's mother's. Though Lily can't quite seem to get the Blacklake bar to divulge where it is. Likely embarrassed, which is why she hasn't pressed very hard. A ring of crimson light. Not a bad little trinket if one can't make their own. Imagine that, though. Sharwyn's mother. The things Lily could discover with just an eagle's feather. A bottle of something nice and a free afternoon. Like where Dannen lives. Or used to live. It would be enough to track his current whereabouts. And without the Blacklake bard even knowing her mistress knew. Leaving her wholly unconnected to the terrible tragedy that would surely befall him. Choking on something, perhaps.
Hello.
Oh, here's a militia soldier. You came just in time, friend. What can I do for you? Yeah, I guess verifying that these are the headquarters. For this district, anyways. It's a temporary location so we can get things under control here. We're asking what's actually going on. There's been a prison break. The whole district's crawling with them. We got the ugly task of taking them down, dead or otherwise. Alright. Then stay out of sight. This area is dangerous. Thankfully, this astute member of the militia made her aware there's been a prison break, as the Inquisitor General had thought it was simply a new method of rehabilitation. But they let the prisoners out for exercise.